leak in a valve in the cooling trap out there. I think from what Sean Patterson, who's kind of in charge of that department and whatever, said, most of it was contained in the feeds material building, which is a large building out there. They basically, when it happened, they shut off everything to that line, vacuumed the line out. Most of what escaped, I think, was contained in the building, but some of it did get outside. And then, because they had access to it and it was in the right area, they sprayed it with a mist of water from those cooling towers. And I really think that from what he said, and I talked to Barry Stevenson a little bit yesterday, I really think what everybody's got pictures and video of is that mist from the cooling towers. And I think that has kind of, with everything else that's going on out there, has kind of, you know, inflated what the problem was. Anyway, they did isolate that and get everything out. And of course, what they sprayed with, what little bit did get outside the building, and they sprayed. They trapped, you know, after it fell and trapped in their sewer, and they neutralized it. So.
About it, didn't I?
That's fine. Was you able to respond, or was you out there, any of the people out there, or how do we respond in that type of situation?
Basically, they called us and declared a planned emergency, which means it has not left the ground.
Okay.
And we were in contact up until about 2:30 Monday morning. I was with Sean. I did not go out there because really, Jason, I don't see that I could have done anything but stand there and, you know, we could have had a discussion. Like I said, I was getting about an hour and a half reports from Sean Patterson, you know, at the time.
When a situation like that happens, when it's within their plan or within their fence, do they let a person like you, you know, as the county guy, do they let you inside the gate, or is that something that they prefer you to stay outside the gate and talk to you over the phone?
They would prefer, I don't think, let me say this, I don't think they would deny me entrance if I want to, but I have never, and as far as I know, Larry before me never did. You know, we've always handled it by phone.
Okay.
Now, if it's such time that it clears the fence, then that's a different matter. You know, then we're going to respond. We may block off roads, you know, that sort of thing.
Okay. That's about all I had. I just want to get an update on what happened. Did you call Jeff, the chairman, or notify any of the commissioners?
No, we can do that if you want, like I said, on a planned emergency, but, you know,
Okay.
if it was to clear the fence, we absolutely would notify all three of you people.
Okay.
Now, unless you want to change that, I mean, if,
I don't know, I mean, a lot of times, I mean, you get phone calls, people calling you, wouldn't know what's going on. So.
well, I would be glad to call you if you want notified on a planned emergency. Like I said, that's, you may be getting a lot more folk, I mean, cause they
Yeah.
do have a lot of things, but they classify, you know, that are very minor.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get two sides of the story, you get, you know.
Well, and I know that Sabrina over at the sheriff's office was about to pull her hair out.
I think she took a lot of heat from when I talked to the sheriff, and
Uh,
I think a lot of people were calling her upset that they didn't sound these sirens.
well, and again, our policy is that we wouldn't if it's contained within the plant perimeter.
Right. I understand.
So,
Okay. That's it, that's all I
Okay.
have.
all right.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Are you? We'll go back down there and get to work. What are you doing down here?
Well, okay, well, if you guys don't need anything, I will.
Do we
then.
need anything from her?
She looks like she got money in the bank,
Mhm.
payroll's paid.
Yeah,
All's
transferred
good.
that 50, so.
She can get down there, she can see people. Give 'em-
Smile
give 'em a pen.
and kiss babies.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the pen for you. Oh, it's got my name on it.
Oh,
Better don't do that.
Huh?
Don't do that.
We'll see.
Not within 100 feet of
Yes,
my
please
office
don't.
anyway.
I would not. They take them, I can't help it.
What do you know today?
All right, well, nasty day.
have a project that was bid out a couple of weeks ago. Just got the contract all put together and ready to sign, that's why I'm bringing it to you today. It's for bridge replacement on Poco Road,
That little one there.
Woodbridge, it's way up there, yeah. This is a project that had been set up a couple of years ago, and it finally got, designed and bid out. It's kind of a joint venture between us and Polk County, because it's right on the line, but our portion is quite a bit skewed from theirs. I mean, we're like 93% of the project, they have like 7% of the project, so anyway.
Did you open the bids yet?
Yeah, the bid came in at $116,654, which was like 1.15% over the estimate, so very, very, very close.
Who was it?
The D's Construction got this.
Olin Dees.
Sorry.
Olin Dees.
Well,
his kids has got
Brett
it.
Dees is the one that.
Yeah,
I think
I
is
guess
running
he's
it now.
retired.
Yeah, I'm not really, I don't know if I've ever met him, but, I guess we just need to, go on accepting the bid and sign the contract if it's all agreeable.
That bridge never did fall in, did it, the floor?
I'm not aware of it ever falling in. I mean, it's pretty rough shape right now.
Is it?
It's a wood, it's got some steel beams under it, it's a wood deck, and the wood deck is rotting pretty good. I mean, it's just a really, really old looking bridge.
When would they do the construction on it?
They probably would, if the weather is decent enough, they'll probably do it this winter. I mean, this is a same type of bridge, same scale of a project as what we've been doing, I mean, a lot smaller scale is what I'm trying to get at, the same type of bridge, but smaller scale.
Not near the ditch.
Yeah, not near the kind of crossing, it's not as long as beams, it's not as wide of a road, so everything's just a little smaller scale, that's why it's half the cost.
They put in a lot of bridges, so they ought, or, well, he did, I don't know, but I guess it's the boys. I mean, yes, I mean,
Who is America's Park,
That
Parking
is,
or something like
yeah,
that?
that is our.
The striping?
Striping, district-wide striping contract that, is let out for all of IDOT District 9. That's our,
That's our share?
well, that's what we had striped this year. We don't have to participate in that, it's just that we get striping probably at half the cost because they've got so much quantity
Yeah.
throughout, they go to every county in our district.
Good
and,
Lord, that's a lot of paint.
It is, and that's only probably between a half and a third of what we have in the county.
We try to split that up.
Yeah, in the past, I think he split it up, doing half the county every other year, so every year we have about that much. I think last year it was 30-something thousand, and this year's 28-something. So, yeah, the whole county, if you maintain that kind of a price, it's around $60,000 to stripe it, all of our county highways. A lot of money for paint, I agree. But there's,
I bet they give that truck away too. Reckon that thing's $250,000, or would that touch that truck?
I don't think it would touch a paint truck. I would say it'd
It may
probably
be
more
half,
about
I don't
$1 million.
know. $1 million?
I
Could be, I don't know.
mean, the thing is just monstrous,
massive,
and it's,
yeah.
got a lot of electronic controls. I mean, it knows, it spreads glass beads over the top of the paint as you go. I mean, it's,
Really?
yeah,
Huh.
it's pretty top of the line, I mean, from what I see. But, I thought about, and this is just me thinking, I thought, you may not need this stripe every year. We might be able to draw that out a little bit and save a little bit of money, I mean, but I'll evaluate what we painted last year,
Yeah.
this winter, to see if it really needs it or not.
Really, probably when it really shows up is if you was to have a lot of snow plowing maybe, would that peel some of it up? I mean, possible?
It doesn't really peel a whole lot of it up, it just seems to really get faded fast, and I don't know what fades it fast. I mean, I think here, in what I've heard, painters have told me this, that since all the environmentally friendly stuff has gone into play, they used to have some paint that actually lasts a lot longer. Now they have to use some environmentally friendly latex latex paint that's, doesn't last as long.
Jason uses lead paint in his rental house. He puts some of that on.
Oh, man, that was a low blow there.
Oil-based lead paint, there you go. Throw in
Below the
some,
belt, wasn't
That was a low blow right there. My goodness.
it? That Feather Hill, is that Wiseman?
yeah, we got another 50 loads of rock from him put on our yard for this
Oh.
winter in case we needed some rock this winter.
Yeah.
And,
I remember that Feather Hill, but I couldn't remember who it was, but I
yeah,
thought that was right.
that's all we're getting this year.
Is he a happy boy lately?
Mr. Whiteman,
You know, wasn't there,
didn't really send much to me. I think he's happy.
wasn't he unhappy with him getting rock here? Was it
Well, he
years
always
ago or
accused
something?
somebody of stealing,
Okay.
lying about the load, including myself.
Yeah, I mean, he
Probably
went
was.
over that with me in great detail, and yeah.
He told him everything.
He had good gravel, I don't know about now, but at one time it was real good gravel.
I was just being a good listener is all.
You just sit there with your mouth shut.
But, I mean, it started out this year because he let us have the rock to fix that road
Yeah.
out. And then he's like, well, are you guys interested in hauling any for your use on other roads? And we said, well, sure, depending on cost, you know. Like, way cheaper than we can get.
What did you have to pay him? So much a load?
Yeah, $35 a load.
Then you have to go up and shove it down and get it in a loose?
Yeah, we were loading it and everything. I mean, we
But
went
then
out.
you have to make it loose and then load it up, or do you just load it with a track off the bank, or?
Yeah, just dig it out with a track going and load it that way.
Okay.
What do we need, a resolution, or that's a resolution?
This is the contract, this is, I guess, last time we just voted on the, accepting the low bid, and you just signed the contract. And John has to attest to your signature that the board passed it.
All right.
In 2 places.
Is there a motion as such?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye? Aye.
Joe, how many bids did you get?
2 bids, Perry County Construction
Perry.
D's. Perry was like 120,000, they were 116 something.
Pretty close in what, yeah.
I gotta sign the front here. If you go, you can sign right there and right here on all 5 of
Let's
these.
see here. Look right there, bye.
Bye. And then John will test right next to you. Right.
There.
Joe, how's the new John Deere, back mower, doing good?
Yeah, it is.
I saw it working out on Bush Claw Lane one day.
I haven't seen it working, but I've seen where he has been. Looks pretty good to me. He's got the same guy on it all the time, or are they taking turns, or?
2 different guys have run it. Danny and Kevin both run it.
Kevin.
Or-
Okay. Kevin Foster don't get on equipment no more, does he? Is he strictly working on,
Just to move around.
Yeah. just to make sure it's workable?
Did you, ever get any pricing on that intersection there, Country Club Road, North Avenue, for the blinking light that would be, do you remember what that pricing would be?
No, I mean, I haven't actually, worked out any details on how we need to do that yet. And incidentally, I've got an appointment with Ameren, because all their power lines are out there, and that intersection is, I mean, you wouldn't really think of it, but it's riddled with overhead electric lines. I mean, there's electric lines on all 4 corners.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna see the possibility of using one of their poles, or using some of their poles, maybe if they could suspend the wire and us do that if we get a service from them. I still think that's gonna be somewhat cost prohibitive compared to the solar, just because of the service.
Wasn't the solar about 7,500 a piece or something?
No, they're like, just a little under 2,000 a piece.
2,000, that was awesome.
so you don't have to pay any electricity. If you have to do a hardwired, I mean, a hardwired light is a lot more maintenance-free and probably work longer, but you have to pay a meter fee and electricity every month.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, the meter fee is
$33.
minimum 25, I think.
I think it's 33.
Well, that's for SIEC, this is
Oh.
Ameren.
Oh, it's cheaper, okay.
Yeah, this is the last time I checked on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was minimum 25, and then you paid for electricity on top of that.
Mhm.
So, you know, if just say your electric bill was $50 a month, that's $600 a year.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what your electricity bill would be, but
Was you looking for solar on both ways, red on one and yellow on the other, or was you just gonna do, what do you usually gonna
Well,
propose?
and that's, I'm not really, it's up in the air. I know different people that's talked to me has indicated the desire to have red flashing on one side, yellow flashing on the other, just to,
John, did I sign that second one in the wrong daggum spot, right there? Am I signing high or low? That's what I thought, I signed that one in the wrong daggum spot.
Is it gonna matter?
Either that or I think that's where they signed, isn't it? I signed down below them on that one. I signed down here doing business, but that's as if it's co-partnership.
yeah, we might need to re-sign it up there.
Yeah.
But I don't know about, we can maybe white it out or exit out or something.
Jason, are you thinking that the people on North Avenue might look a little more at a yellow flashing light there?
Well, I just wondered if he had posted, earlier we tried to do something, we put some signs up that said what intersection, something about
Yeah,
intersection.
I'll show you, call me about this, I never did get back in touch
If
with you. but-
traffic doesn't stop, I know one.
Yeah.
On the Country Club Road side, we have stop signs and then the block sign underneath the stop sign that says cross traffic does not stop.
Right.
And then plus or minus 500 feet ahead of those stop signs, we have the stop sign ahead warning sign, which is basically just a yellow diamond, stop sign in it with an arrow pointing ahead. That's the standard for a stop sign warning ahead. On the North Avenue side, about 500 to 600 feet back from the intersection, we have the yellow diamond warning sign that just says intersection. It doesn't say anything as far as words. It has a cross on it, which means
Okay.
intersection ahead.
Is that where, if you did do yellow flashing light solar, you would put it above that sign?
That's correct.
That's what you.
It wouldn't be at the intersection, it would be
Right.
500 to 600 feet back from it.
Right.
I mean, if you put it at the intersection, you have to drive another post
Yeah.
there and put it on there, and I
Where's
don't,
that other Jeff?
I think on top of that sign would be beneficial if possible, yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Probably
so,
the place to start.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at doing solar power, it's more or less gonna be about $8,000 if you do 4 lights. If you're looking at doing the overhead hanging, the cost will probably be cheaper than that up front, but then you're looking at
Long term.
probably long-term, probably $600 a year for electricity, perpetually.
How long do you think those solars will last?
I don't have an estimated life on them. I just don't know. I mean, I would assume that they probably have a 15 to 20-year type warranty on them, at least 10 year, I would say. I mean, barring any, being hit or vandalized.
The ones down
or-
Joppa have done a good job. At the school.
I mean, I've seen the same types of lights across other counties, and the state uses them in places, and they, I have no idea what kind of costs are involved in maintaining them and keeping them going, but I've seen them there for a long time, and they put them in for the bike path. There's one flashing down there by Fat Ed's that's yellow. There's a couple flashing in Brookport that's red. I mean, I know the tornado took 1 or 2 of them out in Brookport. And so they may have had to replace them, but there's a couple up there on 12th Street by Metropolis, middle school, elementary school on 12th Street that's been operating for a few years now. So, not saying there's no maintenance involved with them, but, basically, once you cover the upfront cost, there's no electric bill or it's just maintaining bulbs and making sure
Go
that
through them right fast if you would, make sure I do, yeah.
making sure the
talking to, CIPS, are you talking to them about just, lighting maybe still, or why are you talking to them?
I was gonna talk to them to see, you know, what clearances that might be required to hang a wire
Okay,
from the poles, or if we can possibly use one of their poles, or if we can't use their poles, if they can install poles for us,
mhm.
because it's, you know, we don't have the means to install a light pole.
Looks like there's a lot of stuff on those poles already.
There is.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
overhead is just littered in that. I mean, I hate overhead power and stuff. I mean, I just do. It just, takes away, but nobody ever notices it once it's up there.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, you know,
Mm, okay.
so that's why I was meeting with them, just to see the possibilities of, number one, is it possible for us to hang a wire there and suspend a light? Number two, can we use your poles to do it? Number three, if we can't use your poles, can you install poles for us? And what would the cost be?
Right.
And number four, what is, you know, if I get more to the nitty gritty of what the cost of a monthly service charge or whatever for the electricity fee is. And that way I can have
You think they would provide the electricity?
for free? No.
Yeah, okay.
I think we're pretty darn lucky they're putting that street light there, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I hesitated to even contact them because a lot of times they charge for street lights.
Okay.
I think we're paying SIEC for a few street lights, one up about on Rosebud. I'm not really sure where the other one might be, but,
I was,
or I'm sorry, not Rosebud, Round Knob.
there was, I've been asked about the intersection of Massac Creek Road and Country Club Road, if at some point there could be a street light put on one of them poles. I guess that's still the same hammer and line running that far east, isn't it? I mean, it ain't, what, a mile?
The east-west line running along Country Club Road should be Amarin.
Amarin.
I'm not saying, there may be some other
There may
electricity
be, I
there,
don't know.
but right there at that intersection, at Country Club and North Avenue, like even the people around there get served by Amarin, so I'm not really sure.
Well, there's some folks that live right down that road. I guess I don't know if they feel like they could see the intersection better at night, maybe, I don't know. You got any idea, or you might ask them what something like that would cost, or if you have them that close, maybe somebody can run down there and say, hey, that's our pole, or it's not our pole, or.
So, yeah, I am sort of looking into that. I mean, I haven't committed to do anything yet, but, you know, it's kind of being looked into. One person from the community called me this past week and talked to me about it too, so I told him I was in the process of trying to do that.
Joe, when did we resurface Joppa Road? Do you know, what's it been, 10 years?
Resurface,
Yeah.
right off the highway going
Yeah.
towards Joppa.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it was
And
not anywhere near that long ago, but I don't know for sure. I'd have to look it up. I'm thinking it was probably
2 or 3?
3 to 4 to 5, 3 to 5, somewhere in that range.
Well, why can't they run that on up there to the stop sign? That's rough.
I
From that
think-
stop sign down to the old store that's been there for
Well,
years.
there's no reason why we can't, okay? I mean, but there's quite a bit of work that probably would need to be done in Joppa to be able to make
Drainage, you know.
drainage work and entrances work and everything, and I'm assuming that's why it was shied away from in the past,
Yes.
because of all the extra work that would need to be done.
Do you think, other words, if you raise that up, do you think now that the water's running over the road? I mean, why would that affect the drainage if you raise that surface up?
Well, it wouldn't affect it so much as it would affect people that's trying to pull off into driveways
Oh,
and pull
okay.
off into side streets, because then
Yeah.
there'd be a big bump.
Okay.
Uh,
Where the ditch is?
Yeah, I mean, really and honestly, going through Joppa, it needs some kind of, it either needs a ditch and culverts, or it needs storm sewer. And what they've got there now, I don't know why anybody ever did that in the past.
Those
I mean,
4-inch.
that ruined it all, right there.
Well, I think that cemetery is one reason it's all screwed up, you know, that bank is right there on the road, and there's no way to put anything there.
I mean, it's possible to do storm sewer, but that would just, you know, if we did resurface it, it would, to put storm sewer in, you really need to put in curb and gutter, because the storm sewer doesn't work quite right if you don't have curb and gutter.
Yeah.
So it, you know, it turns just a small resurfacing job into a
Major.
pretty major reconstruction job. And, you know,
Well, now,
it'd be
is that still County Road going out the other end of Joplin? It is, isn't it? Or-
Yes, and I mean, something that I thought about possibly doing in the future when we do that paving again is possibly milling it off,
Yeah.
getting it down to where, you know, mill or remove 2 inches and put 2 inches back, and that way we'll have the same thing.
Yeah.
It still won't be good for drainage, I mean,
They don't have any
mayor
drainage.
and, I don't know, Susan Dusty, she used to be the mayor, I don't know what she does now.
Is she
but
the mayor?
No.
No, she's
Les-
trustee.
Les Whipple.
She's called me several times, and Les has talked to me a couple times about trying to fix that drainage through there with doing storm sewers and all that. You know, it's something that,
They had a sewer collapse down in front of the high school somewhere. And they thought it was a traffic. Those trucks, that sewer's like 20 foot deep down through there.
yeah,
I just don't believe that had anything to do with it, but.
Dirt weighs more than the traffic.
it's probably,
Yeah.
it's probably just a really, really old sewer line.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
So, yeah, that's gonna be a continual problem, and that's not, that's the problem that you get into with the county maintaining a road through a city that has other utilities there. I mean,
Yeah.
really, honestly, that road should not be ours to maintain. I don't understand why it isn't, or why it is, but nevertheless, it is, and we just have to either figure that out in the future or something.
It's just so, you know, I know they've always had drainage problems. There's just not much. You've got houses on each side, and like you say,
No
unless
room
you
to
had a
maneuver.
curb and gutter, you know, to take that water on different locations, it's just not much you can do.
Yeah, I mean, well, that would be a good project to do someday, to
It
be
would.
honest.
Larry had thought about it, and he had checked around a little bit, but he ran out of time.
That road, you was talking about, you got gravel from Mr. Wiseman to fix that road up there. Has that crossing ever been dealt with where it was?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're
I don't know.
still on the list.
He hadn't asked me about it or nothing, but I was just curious.
Not yet. We haven't done anything with it yet. We want to before the winter hits, but.
Quickly approaching. What your guys been busy doing? Are they ditching somewhere or cleaning the fruit controls or?
Well, yesterday we've been cutting trees and stuff on some roads and doing brush cutting and getting prepared. We fixed a couple of culverts, fixed one up there at Michael's Equipment, on Marion Road there, right by Michael's Equipment. We gotta fix one on Waldo Road here soon. It's a big culvert that's rotted out, 48 inch. We gotta replace it with 48 inch. We're in line to start that fence row up there on, Old Karnak Road, take it all out. That's probably gonna start this afternoon, probably gonna start.
That make him happy, good deal.
Um,
Well, now on that 48-inch, Joe, is it caving in? Can you shove a plastic one in there, or would that be feasible?
It hasn't caved in yet, but the bottom of it's a metal pipe, and the bottom of it is completely rusted out.
Okay.
And, no, I mean, I've got you could shove one in liners too, probably, but the pipe is undersized to begin with.
Oh,
It's like a,
it's 60.
it's like a 36 inch, and it really
It
takes.
needs more drainage.
Yeah.
Sound like a good opportunity to fix it right. Since it needs work anyhow.
And I'm finding that a lot in the county, that a lot of the pipes that's been installed a long time ago were undersized just a little bit from what they recommend installing now, so.
Well, back then it's possible, well, this is big enough, we're gonna go with this. I mean, maybe there wasn't,
feasibility.
Well, they had more fence rows to hold back the water and
So. Generally speaking, what's going on?
Everything running all right? Or you know,
We haven't had any major breakdowns lately on anything bad.
off to the races, huh? Little one pager.
thank you, Ted.
Shall I able to get those vehicles?
We're good to get the stuff put in them now.
What'd you end up getting? Maybe about what you thought?
Yeah. Got one dark gray, kinda like, I think it's the same color as Chief Massey's got. And
That's a
then
sharp
white.
car.
That kind of car or that color? You mean?
Same color, same car.
Oh, it,
That's what you guys, you're having better luck out of them anyhow, ain't you? Was it Charger?
That's, yeah. that's
Same
what
thing
they want.
JD's driving?
You can't get the Crown Vics anymore. They stopped making them
so you got a gray Charger, which color is that?
white.
White. Are y'all leaving it plain or? is it-
Well, the gray one will be plain, unmarked, and the white one will have stripes on it.
You use that gray one on the intersection?
See how that works out. I think it'll work out better right there.
Yeah. Then the other two cars, you decide what you're gonna do with them? We talked, what did Joe Miller say? He said he would prefer a,
He doesn't want a Crown Vic, he wants one like you got. And I told Jason and Jeff, what's his name, wasn't in any hurry, Farmer, you know, we just,
that would be next year.
January.
You get- So do you think he should sell the two other cars then, is that what you're saying?
Nobody wants them?
not that I know of.
Okay. Is Gary?
Assessor
Hand-
doesn't need it.
You don't need it, okay.
I mean, I'll get, he
He's
hadn't
got
said
an
anything.
S10 Blazer or something he's using, doesn't he?
Yeah, that, yeah.
Or whatever you call that thing, I guess it's a Blazer.
They might be in better shape than what we've got over there.
Where did that rascal come from?
Contest? I was
Yeah,
thinking
I
this
got
one
that
5 years ago.
Huh?
When I first came over here, I had a Comcast donated a white Blazer.
Really?
And I drove it for a while.
That may be it.
I thought 911 had a Blazer and
Yeah.
Assessor.
Yeah, what did happen to Keith Davis's old one?
That's it. I remember we had one time.
I thought that was it.
Could be.
Maybe, Joe would want that.
I know you wasn't getting, getting bicycle, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you, my wife's got a, Expedition she might be wanting to get rid of, it get some stripes on it, Expedition and
Yeah.
some lights.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Big old cattle guard on the front.
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
Heck, I might, if you're gonna buy that Expedition, I might even throw a category and I'll find one to put on there. Cow killer.
Well, Justin, did you go somewhere with Joe in that Volkswagen, or
Yes.
where was that, Marion?
We went to Marion. Yeah. Whatever the Fiat or whatever he's got there. Sure did.
Got a hotel full over there or not?
Yeah, like I said, at 43 today.
Getting on up there, huh? People get more active. whatever, did, anything ever become of that, whoever was looking through the paper for obituaries and stuff and breaking in houses, you catch anybody, or, that wasn't that boy from Brookport, was it? That's a different thing.
We haven't had any more in over a week. They stopped.
I imagine they got shook up, didn't they? Still put it in the paper.
I'll tell you what, that's dangerous doing that in the county like that. I mean, they view that a little differently.
Since you've been in law enforcement, have you ever had anybody get shot making a home invasion or anything? You know, perpetrator gets shot in a home? Marshall's trying to make me feel bad out there for getting on to her. Got on to her about working, caught her out there, so now she's coming down here and making a bunch of noise and shit.
That's all I had.
Don't have much.
Still a thing Friday, still on,
What'd that be?
health department.
Right there. Fill me in, I guess I forgot.
Well, that's not that, I'm sorry, that's something Joe Miller told me about.
Okay. Something we were supposed to go through?
No.
Okay. Stop sliding. Got a lot on my mind, did I forget something?
That's something he said,
Hey, when is, our engineer boys coming? November,
10th on that Monday.
couldn't remember. The second Monday, and we're meeting on 2 Mondays straight, correct?
That's correct, because November 11th's a holiday, courthouse is closed.
John, we got a meeting tonight. Is that the-
Everything's good over there?
Like how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Call me.
For a second treatment tomorrow, so